Hi, welcome to Ccherie the Rabbit. And today we're going through the packing of the Saggers. It's taken me a while to get back to doing these videos. I was about to do this recording and I got sick, and then I got distracted with other stuff. So first, laying out the things that I'm going to use within the Sagger. Putting in some sawdust in the bottom. It's very fine sawdust. And checking which pot I'm going to use in this Sagger. Painting the pots with some, what I believe is ferrous oxide. I can't remember why I didn't write it down or show the bottle so that I could remember later. Must have slipped my mind. Checking that the pot is going to sit properly. Some copper wire. Sorry, I go out of frame a little bit here when I'm trying to do some of this close-up work because the copper wire was being temperamental. This is like 10 times sped up, so you can imagine how frustrated I was at this point. And that piece of copper wire plagued me through the whole packing of this, pretty much. Then some borax coated corn leaves, or just a corn leaf. Some red and brown onions and some coffee there. They're used coffee grounds that have dried out. Some copper sulfate and salt go in first. This gives you a bit of a atmosphere within it, but you don't want them actually touching your pot. We use that also in a pit firing. Throwing some coffee grounds in. And the red onion and brown onion, seaweed, not sure what type or where the seaweed was from. Some of these things our teacher just had that she collected along the way. Some crushed up eggshells. And every now and then you'll probably see someone else's hand come across. That's just someone on the other side of the table that is packing theirs. Some borax coated twine in a second, and that's to hopefully help tie everything onto the pot because it was sliding off. You want it to stay there long enough, and you'll get a reaction from the twine itself being covered in borax. Now some pine needles. They have to be dry, of course. And then so some random twigs and small pieces of wood, some leaves. This is just to fill up the Sagar. Some bark there, probably eucalyptus. And then that one was packed and ready for the kiln. And now packing the second one. It's first packed into a paper bag. So some different seaweed this time, and some twine. Again coated with the same twine as before, coated with borax. Tucking some onion. That's a little piece of wadding. I can't remember what the wadding was composed of. And as you can see, although they're clear, I'm wearing gloves because of the ferrous oxide and some of the other things that we're using. It's just better to not get that on your skin. And you'll see this pot, I only coated the top half with the ferrous oxide. And that was another piece of the corn leaves. It goes into the paper bag. And then I had forgotten the copper sulfate and salt. So I had to come back and open the bag again. And you notice this one doesn't have sawdust. And then I decided I wanted a lotus leaf that's soaked in copper carbonate. And I just needed to put everything away before I started bandaging it. And that's a random cat that was hanging around the studio. These are just pieces of old cotton sheet, and then it is dipped into clay. And doesn't matter whether it's coloured clay or not. I was just using what people had thrown into our big recycling bin to be recycled, so was just dipping it into that, which was pretty wet clay, as you can see. And inconsistent colours, as you'll see in a moment. It does need to be cotton. You can't use an acrylic or a polyester or anything like that, because you don't know what that'll do in the kiln, or the fumes and that it might give off. Need to do enough layers, but also didn't want to do too many. Was kind of a balance to feel that it was covered enough or not. There's the cat's appearance again. Just putting a bit of extra clay on that there, just to make sure that it was well coated on the outside. And then making sure that I could tell mine once it was out of the kiln, because so many of us had ones being created that I didn't want mine to come out and not know which one I was opening. And then it was actually a couple of months between the firing and the packing, waiting for the kilns to be available. And this is the one as it came out of the bandage. And I think it's got some really cool results, probably better than the other one when you see that in a minute. And I was going to keep the bandage, but someone threw it out on me before I got back to it. I'd actually cleaned it up and packed it up with my stuff, but someone came along cleaning up and threw it out. And this is the one in the Saggers. As you can see, the camera is a bit out of focus here. It'll pull back in a minute. And you can see some of the colours, and of course you get a fair bit of black on that one because it was against the sawdust. And I'm sorry, these ones, it spun a bit fast on me. I couldn't get the little wheel to slow down enough to get a really good pictures. But inside the Saggers pot, you can see the really cool colours that actually were created in the pot itself. And this one, of course, is the one from the bandaged, clay bandaged one. Still. I'll put some more stills on Instagram. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, share and subscribe. See you next time. Bye.